Welcome, porters, to the summary of the prologue. I am Fragile Boson, your logistics support officer for this video. This episode is the first in a series of lore videos summarizing what you should know by the end of each chapter in Death Stranding. After story summaries, I will release videos that go over what you should know about each central character, followed by lore surrounding concepts and essential topics. Because this video will cover the story from the prologue, you should have finished the prologue in the game to avoid spoilers. Let's get going. Here's the story from the prologue. We open on a lone figure riding a strange motorcycle across a beautiful, rugged countryside. We see how beautiful the terrain is in the opening stills, but we can tell that not everything is quite familiar. There are inverted rainbows and gold crystalline formations that look like hands. As our mysterious protagonist continues his trek, we notice that he's carrying some cargo on his back. It threatens to rain. The animals seem strangely affected by the weather, and we see the first black handprint impressions. The rain rolls in, and birds begin to fall from the sky, some of them mangled by what appears only to be the rain itself. After making a rather impressive jump with his bike, he crashes, trying to avoid a woman holding what appears to be a rather strange umbrella. Instead of colliding with the woman, she vanishes the instant our bike rider would have impacted her. His bike falls off a cliff, so he must continue his now rain-inundated journey on foot. After a short walk, our protagonist spots a cave to shelter from the weather. We still don't know why the protagonist so strongly desires to avoid the rain, but we're about to find out. A photo falls to the ground as the protagonist reaches for it. A drop of rain hits the back of his hand and seems to age the skin, turning it wrinkled and old. With a sudden pause, the protagonist sees his breath, and mysterious, ominous, and somewhat sinister tar-filled handprints form nearby on the ground. The woman is suddenly back. She grabs our bike rider's arm and beckons him to be quiet, indicating to the handprints on the cave wall. The duo stumbles back, scrambling out of the way of the invisible printmaker. Holding their breath seems to redirect the creature away. The handprints slowly and narrowly pass, and the audience assumes they have avoided a terrible fate. The two figures, relieved that danger is done, look to the sky, where we can see the faint outlines of 5 floating figures. The woman wipes tears from her eyes and notices the protagonist is also crying. Tears are a sign of a chiral allergy. The man states that he cannot see the mysterious hand creatures, but he can feel them, making him a level 2 carrier of dooms, which is the name for the chiral allergy. The woman reveals that she took refuge in the cave to stay out of the dangerous rain, the same as the man. The woman introduces herself as Fragile and offers her hand in a friendly gesture, which he refuses. He's heard of her, but he doesn't sound very impressed, and she reaches for him, recognizing him as Sam Porter Bridges, the man who delivers. He's our protagonist, and he's a porter, someone who delivers packages, which is what we found him doing at the beginning of the game. We see some strange creatures float into the sky from her bag. She offers him one, but he refuses. She eats one, saying, "A cryptobite a day keeps the time fall away." She offers him to work for her, recognizing how difficult it must be to be an independent porter because there are so many traitors and so few honest folk. She removes her glove, revealing an aged and withered hand, saying she was soaked in neck to toe. We can assume that the rain did this. As she prepares to leave, Fragile tells Sam to watch himself because those things never stay gone for long. Sam picks up his photo and notices the rain has damaged it. Fragile tells him that the time fall fast-forward whatever it touches. Timefall's fast-forwarding works both on biological and synthetic materials. She laments the timefall can't wash everything away, not the past, and disappears. Sam then continues his delivery, slowly descending the ravine and into central Knot City. Sam arrives and completes his delivery, greeted by a hologram of a woman who says that Sam kept them waiting. As Sam leaves the small office, an urgent request arrives for Sam's assistance. So Sam walks outside and meets a duo of workers in a truck. The first worker introduces himself as Igor from Bridges Corpse Disposal. Igor also offers a friendly handshake before remembering that Sam is not the touchy-feely type. As Sam climbs into the truck, Igor informs Sam that the body waiting there is a man who committed suicide. Igor reminds Sam that they must get the body to an incinerator. Sam's concerned that the route is crawling with BTs. Sam suggests that they find another way. Igor tells Sam that there isn't enough time, and they can make it. They just needed someone like Sam with dooms, which was, if you remember, the chiral allergy and ability to detect the creatures we now know are called BTs. When Igor offers a contract to Sam Porter, Sam informs him that it's just Sam. Sam tells him that he can't spot the BTs, only sense them, but Igor tells Sam that they came prepared with what Sam recognizes as a bridge baby, which will help them stay one step ahead of the BTs. Jacking into the bridge baby, Igor says that it makes him feel bad every time. Sam says it's because you're plugging into the other side and it freaks him out too. En route, Igor tells Sam about the old days of the country where people could freely travel with airplanes and highways and there was no need for porters. He says the Death Stranding poked the world full of holes. He says after the Death Stranding was when the freaks from the beach showed up, the worlds of the living and the dead all mixed together. The Death Stranding caused humanity to cluster into cities and brought about the rise of the porters. The team sees the inverted rainbows. We hear the roll of thunder, and they pick up their pace. Sam notices the corpse is about to pop, and they adjust their course through BT territory. A thick, tar-like substance, the same that filled the handprints, begins to drift up and out of the corpse on the truck's bed. The timefall begins and the sky darkens. The truck's engine stalls just as they are in the worst and most dangerous place, right in the middle of the BTs. Sam doesn't sense the BTs, and the strange device on Igor's back activates and turns orange while spinning. The corpse's tar intensifies, and we see a bloodied Sam lying on the ground as the timefall accelerates the growth, flowering, and death of the plant life on the ground. As Sam awakens, he limps to the corpse ejected from the truck and is now lying on the ground while Igor tends to the driver pinned under the overturned vehicle. Igor says, "They're here," as the device on his back pulses and searches around. Igor's driver ages quickly under the effects of the timefall as the handprints appear first on the truck, then all around them. When it appears safe, Igor gives the thumbs up to Sam, who notices the corpse now has a yellow substance on its face. The corpse disappears into a pool of tar and the hands appear again. As one of the hands hits a pool of Sam's blood, it smokes and then abandons Sam, heading for the driver. Tarry arms reach from the ground and grab the driver, pulling him into the distance before Igor shoots the man, apologizing. A new person with a red bridge baby floats from the sky, motions for quiet, and then points behind the corpse team. Igor attempts in vain to shoot the monsters before being grabbed by the hands. He throws off his bridge baby and attempts suicide, but misses as the man drifts slowly into the sky. Igor then begins to stab himself repeatedly as he goes further into the sky. We see Sam pick up the bridge baby, which causes his device to activate. Sam and the baby look on as a giant monster appears, as something pulls Igor into the creature's mouth. A pair of golden hands. A large explosion occurs. Sam then blacks out and finds himself on a sandy beach. The bridge baby appears to be there with a black umbilical cord coming out of its abdomen as it's crying. Sam picks up the baby and cries. The baby disappears as Sam notices small baby hand marks going down his leg. Sam looks at his own hands covered in the same tar. Sam stands. He's naked. We see a cross-shaped scar on his abdomen, and he's wearing a strange necklace unseen before. Sam looks out to the seascape as we notice 5 floating black figures in the sky. The 4 on the wings are identical with the central figure holding something. We then hear a woman's voice singing, "London Bridge is falling down." She passes by Sam in a red dress and walks out into the water from the beach. The tide washes dead crabs and whale carcasses ashore. Sam then appears to get sucked underwater, and we can see black corpses all around him and creatures flying right above the surface of the water he's swimming in. Sam finds his body floating and enters his own mouth. Inside we see what appears to be the bridge baby sucking its thumb. We then flash to a scene where we see a man in a jacket grabbing what we assume is the bridge baby, and he calls the baby BB. Sam awakens and vomits black tar and cryptobites, the baby back in its container in Sam's arms. Sam overlooks a large crater, vast, tarry, black handprint in the center. He says, "There is coming an explosion that will be our last." This is the end of the prologue.